योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चापि व्रताः सत्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। In the last two classes, we covered 3 verses of Mahaganesha Pancharatna. So we shall start rendering these 3 verses, then we proceed with the 4th. मुदाकरात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतं सकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् नायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकं नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम्। न तेतरातिभीकरं नवोदितार्कभास्वरं नमत्सुरारिनिर्जरं नताधिकापदुद्धरं सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरं महेश्वरं तमाश्रये परात्परं निरन्तरम्। समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं दरेतरोदरं वरं वरे भवक्त्रमक्षरम् कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं यशस्करं मनस्करं नमस्कृतां नमस्करोमि भास्वरम्। मनस्करं नमस्कृतां नमस्करोमि भास्वरम्। मनस्करः इत्युक्तौ दिवाकरः इतिवत् मनः करोति इति मनस्करः। नमस्कृतां मनस्करः। See, Manaskaraha, literally, if you want to translate, the one who makes the mind. One who makes the mind. So, makes the mind, the mind is already there. So, mind is already there. So, making mind means, so he may help to make up the mind, right? So, in a sense, one can think of one who helps in taking a certain determination, so resolution. So, these are extremely important to achieve anything we want to achieve. So, one who makes your mind resolute mind in order to accomplish something. Okay, that is what is Manaskaram. So, there are other things. Okay. So, we have the term Manasvi. So, Manasvi is also used. See, those who are extremely compassionate, those who are highly charitable, they are also called Manasvi. Nalla Manasvi, they will say. See. So, one who is extremely large-hearted, that is also called Manasvi. So, this large-heartedness. So, this is not something which is easy to achieve. So to welcome anybody, everybody at all times. So share with people the resources that you have. So these are also referred to as Manasvi. So perhaps what the poet has in his mind is, these are things which are attained by us by the blessings of Ishvara. Therefore, Namaskritam Manaskaram. So we may think of doing something, but we may not be committed to that. So something else will just distract us. So eradicating those distractions, helping us to achieve something. So perhaps that is what is meant by Manaskaram Namaskritam. Namaskaromi Bhasvaram Akinchanartimarjanam. We should not say Akimchana. Akinchana. Akinchanartimarjanam. Chirantanokti-bhajanam. Purari-purvanandanam. Surari-garvacharvanam. Prapanchanashabhishanam. Dhananjayadibhushanam. Kapoladhanavaranam. Bhaje Puranavaranam. Akinchanarti marjanam. Marjayati means one who cleans up. So you know what is the name for this groom in Sanskrit? What is the groom? Broom, huh? Broom, huh? Oh, groom is bridegroom. Okay. Okay. This is broom. That broom is called marjani. Okay. Marjani means that which sort of cleans up. Okay. Takes away. So it takes away the dirt. Therefore, it is called marjani. Okay. Marjani. So, Akinchanarti marjanam. Arti. So, the word arti means pida. Okay. So, primarily manasika pida is called arti. Okay. Akinchanarti marjanam. So, arti marjanam means, so like, so mala nivaranam. So, arti is being taken off. So, any kind of mental afflictions that you have is removed. The one who removes that, the remover of arti, akinchana. So, particularly akinchana is what he uses. Akinchana. Akinchana. Kim chana akinchana. Kim chana, and you add a negative particle to that. Akinchana. Okay. But akinchana, the kinchana no. Even in this, I think we have Viditana Maya Vishadaika. Therima unake? Tota Kashtak. Therima? Vidita sole? Adu kadasi cholu. Viditana Vishadaika. Nacha. Very good. Dhrutameva vidhehi kripam sahajam. Very good, excellent. So this See, there we have the word kinchana. Understand? Nacha kinchana kanchanamasti guru. See? Nacha kinchana kanchanam. See? So there also you have the prasa. Kinchana means very little. Okay. Kinchana. Very little. So he says, Nacha kinchana kanchanam asti guru. See? Vidita namaya vishadaika kala. See, I have not understood. Okay. So the intricacies of any kala. Okay. So vidita namaya vishada. Vishada means, so in all its totality, breadth, so depth, etc. Vidita namaya vishadaika kala. Nacha kinchana kanchana masti guru. Okay. So if I were to approach somebody, so to gain that also, so I have to offer something. So kinchana kanchanam. Kanchanam means wealth, gold. So kinchana kanchanam api nasti. I don't have. Kinchana means very little. Akinchana means not even very little. You understand? See, not even very little. Completely devoid of, empty. So, come. Akinchana arti marjanam. See, akinchananam arti marjanam. Okay. So, for those people, arti marjanam. Okay. So, arti, suppose you have some sort of a problem. Okay. It can be physical, it can be mental. If you are blessed with some resources, you will always find some way by which you will be trying to find a solution to get rid of that. Okay. So, I have some affliction. Okay. So, then you may approach doctor, you may do some other problem. Then there are ways by which you can get rid of if you have resources. But if you don't have those resources, so then it is all the more difficult. Okay. So, for them, he says, even akinchana's arti will be removed by him. Okay. Akinchanarti marjanam. So, this is how we understand the phrase. There can be another level in which you can appreciate this usage. Somewhere in this commentary of Viveka Chudamani, this Chandrasekhara Bharati has written, okay, a nice commentary. See, so somewhere I think this similar thing comes, dhanam. So there he uses the phrase akinchanyam. Okay. Akinchanyam. So akinchanasya bhavaha akinchanyam. Okay. So there he says, nakhalu dhanatvam rashihi. Nakhalu dhanatvam jatihi. Yasya yadishtam tadeva tasya dhanam. Okay. So having said this, so gotvam, manushyatvam. Suppose you are told, this is cow. Okay. So tomorrow if you find some other cow, so you will call it cow, no? How? You didn't see this cow. How do you know it is cow? Looks like. Upamanam. So there is, looks like means, so there is something, some feature which you see, which is common among all cows, right? So though you don't see the cow, that particular cow, some common feature. That common feature is what we call jati. Okay. So in all the humans we have manushyatvam jatihi. So in all the cows you have gotvam jatihi. Similarly, can we call dhanatvam jatihi? This is the question that he poses. Okay. But he says dhanatvam cannot be declared as jati. Why? Because yasya yadishtam tadeva tasya dhanam. If you value music, music is wealth for you. If she values dance, dance is wealth for her. Okay? So if somebody values sport, sport is wealth for him. Okay? So yasya yadishtam tadeva tasya dhanam. Okay? So therefore there is nothing like dhanatvam which is there as a jati in various dhanas that you can think of. So the further statement which is made there is very interesting. Tattadiva pamaranam akinchanyam dhanam vidusham. So tattadiva pamarana. Pamara means a normal person. Okay. So normal human being is called pamara. Tattadiva pamaranam. So different people may value different things in the world, and these are referred to as dhana. But people of great maturity, great wisdom, they consider possessing nothing as their wealth. Akinchanyam dhanam vidusham. Akinchanyam means the property of being without any possession. That is valued by them. Akinchanyam dhanam vidusham. Possessing the attitude of not having any possession is dhanam for them. So they are called as akinchanas. Okay. Akinchanyam dhanam vidusham. Somewhere he says this, Chandrasekhara Bharati. Now if you take that definition of akinchana here, then akinchanarti marjanam. So this is something which I have heard. Recently I went to Rishikesh. A very, very senior sannyasi, real sannyasi. So one who has completely left all things and so primarily engaging in studies and teaching. So then he was saying, so in my life I have seen, so once you are determined to be an akinchana in the real sense, so then all your needs are taken care by others. See? So this akinchananam arti marjanam means, so whenever you require something, so then somebody will come and give you that. So this is what he was just sharing with his experience. Okay. Akinchanarti marjanam. So this akinchanyam is the greatest dhana which can fetch you all kinds of dhanas. Okay. So akinchanarti marjanam chirantanokti bhajanam. See, chirantanokti bhajanam. See. Chirantanokti bhajanam can be understood as chirantanoktihi. So chirantanoktihi, chirantanam ityukte chirantanam. So that which is sort of eternal. Okay. Chiram is long lived. That is why we say chiranjiva, chiranjivi. So chiranjiva, ayushman bhava, chiranjivi bhava. Okay. So this chirantanoktihi, chirantanoktihi means something which is eternal. Okay. Uktihi is statement. Okay, vachanam. About chirantanokti bhajanam is the one who is the locus of. The one who is the locus of chirantana. Inga padichikala Ganapatya Atharva Shirsha Upanishadu. So this Atharva Shirsha, so it praises, see, Tvameva Saksha, Tvameva Sarvam Khalvidam Brahmasi, Tvam Sakshad Atmasi Nityam. So the point is, so all the mantras are in praise of you. So Chirantanoktehe bhajanam means the one who is the locus of the Veda, okay, which is Chirantanokti. So we can think of the phrase Chirantanokti bhajanam, so referring to an epithet, so which describes Vinayaka as the locus of all the Chirantanoktis. Okay, Chirantanokti bhajanam Purari Purvanandanam. Purari enna artham?
Shiva.
Shivaha. See, Purarihi. I think even in Veda there is some passage somewhere. See, Trayah Pura Asan. Anyway, so Purarihi, the one who finished all the Puras. Purarehe Purvanandanaha. Tripurantakaya, correct, very good. Tripurantakaya, Trikalagnikalaya. See, the three Puras, I think it is Suvarna, Rajata and Ayaha. So I think there is some sort of a personification like that, metaphor. These three Puras which are difficult to smash. So I don't remember the episode, somewhere I think. So this Purarihi, okay. Purari Purvanandanam. So Purvanandanaha. So Purva refers to, so here in terms of time, so Vinayaka is Purva and Skanda is Paschat, okay. Purari Purvanandanaha. Purvanandanaha is the elder son of Shiva. So this is one way of understanding. Nandanaha, Nandanaha means Nandayati iti Nandanaha. So Nandayati means one who pleases. Nandanaha. Okay. Nandayati iti Nandanaha. So this is used to son because he is supposed to be a Nandana. Right? He is supposed to be. Anyway, there will be Nandanas as long as they are very young, at least. So Nandana. So late. So Nandana. We can even think of this Nandana. See, Tamil or Thiruvaiyadal Puranam. There is some phala will be given, right? So Shiva has a phala, right? So there, see, so this, Kartikeya and Vinayaka.
Shiva will have one fruit.
Correct, we will have fruit.
He doesn't know whom to give it. Kartikeya.
Correct. So no cutting, as it is to be given, right? Two people are there. Correct. So some competition is announced.
Competition is announced.
Ah,
You have to go around the world 3 times.
correct.
Kartikeya starts going on the peacock. He thinks he will win
Correct.
because
Vinayaka has only Mushaka. Mushaka.
has only a mouse.
Mouse. So very slowly he will be going. But Vinayaka places, go around the parents. Parents. So parents are loka for me. The entire loka is parents. Which means you have to listen to your parents. So whatever they say is only good for you. Correct? So Purari Purva Nandanam. Now, so if you think of that story, so Vinayaka goes around 3 times and gets the fruit, right? Now this trick which is played by Vinayaka, okay, the smartness. So this also pleases Shiva. Okay. So now Purvanandana means one who pleases. Okay. So we can just say one who pleases Shiva much earlier than the other person and takes the fruit. Okay. So if you simply take as Nandana as a one who pleases, then also you can think of this. Purari Purvanandanam Surari Garva Charvanam. Surarinam Garva Charvanam. So Garvasya Charvanam. Charvanam nane. Huh? So Charvanam means eating nartham. Adanam, bhakshanam. Okay? Charvanam. So Surari Garva Charvanam. Surari Garva Charvanam dane? Surari Garva Charvanam. See. Suranam Arihi Surarihi. Okay. Surarehe Garva Charvanam. So means one who completely eats and digests. Okay. So இதில் ஒன்று உண்டு. Sanskrit there will be a phrase. தமிழில் கூட சொல்லுவா, நீங்கள் கேட்கல தெரியல. So if someone keeps on, தெரியுமா? இல்லை அது இல்லை. Charvita Charvanam. So Charvita Charvanam means, suppose you have taught something. Okay. There was a teacher. Okay. And whatever you ask, he will give the same answer. Understand? So he will somehow go to that, and then that is what he knows. He will come back. So then if, in Sabha, in Vakyartha Sabha, sometimes, so you ask something and he doesn't have an answer. So he will somehow go to that track and then try to get that into that. So then you say Charvita Charvanam. Means already something which has been digested, you keep on digesting. Charvita Charvanam. Okay. So Charvita means already processed. So keep on repeatedly processing.
Regurgitation.
Regurgitation. G-U-R. Okay. Arachamaava irukku, correct. So Tamil we have that. Arachamaava irukku. Okay. So Surari Garva Charvanam. In those days, that is a important phrase also, because for the first time crushing, so you have to do this. So we used to do that before we had this mixer grinder and all that. Okay. So initially trying to crush will be a little difficult. So then you go and then say, I have done very fast, see this has come out. So then we have to say it has already been done. So you are just another Arachamaava. Surari Garva Charvanam. The Tanga Vadakadam. So 2-3 times you hit. So you are not able to break the coconut. Somebody else will come and hit. And he will break. He will say, I have broken. So then we say, I already broken, you are just broken. See, my processing has helped you in breaking. Surari Garva Charvanam. So here, Charvanam is a very important phrase. See. So Garva Charvanam. Garva is extreme pride. See. So bordering arrogance is Garva. So Garvasya Charvanam. Charvanam means someone who completely finishes. So once you process something, so you can't get that modakam back. See, it may come in some other form, but it is once and for all processed. Okay. So that is how one has to understand this Garva. Okay. So once and for all, he will process the Garva for us. So and thereby he will become a much better human being. Surari Garva Charvanam. Surari is, you have to understand, it is Asura. You understand? So anybody who possesses this, okay, has this Asuric tendencies. This Garva is a Asuric tendency. So Surarehe, so all of us, okay, Surari Garva Charvanam, okay. So one who finishes the arrogance in us. Surari Garva Charvanam. That is nice verse. Vidyamado Dhanamadaha This Mada is essentially Garva. There is a nice verse in Viduraniti. Vidyamado dhanamadaha tritiyabhijano madaha madayeteva liptanam yetayeva satam damaha. Beautiful song. Tell. Vidyamado dhanamadaha. Solle. Tritiyabhijano madaha. Tritiyabhijano madaha. Madayeteva liptanam. Yetayeva satam damaha. Can you tell? Dhyamado dhanamadaha. There are three types of arrogance. You can broadly classify arrogance generated out of three things. Most things can be fitted into this. Vidyamadaha. So I am a great learned man. So this is one kind of arrogance. Okay? Arrogance brought by learning. Okay? Dhanamadaha. So I possess a lot of wealth. That can be a source of arrogance. The third source of arrogance is Abhijanaha. Means you are born in a great family. Okay. So I am so and so. So this is another thing. Okay. You can be the son of Prime Minister. You can be the son of somebody. So that also breeds some arrogance. Okay. So Vidyamado Dhanamadaha, the position. Okay. Tritiyabhijano madaha, the status enjoyed by you in society. So in fact, the next half of the verse he says, these are the sources of pride and arrogance. Mada yete avaliptanam. Avalipta means mudha, one who has not understood. So these can be sources of arrogance only for a fool. In fact, these three are the sources of Dhamma. Appadiye thiri podano. Mada has to be reversed. Dhamma. See, Dhamma is Adakkam. Okay. So humility. Okay. Madayeteva liptanam yetayeva satam damaha. See, they will become more humble. Okay. More polite. Okay. So that is how a wise man will do. Okay. So that is how it is. So the surari garva charvanam. Only for suraris, anything can be a source of garva. See, if you are really a wise man and you are blessed by Ishvara, then the same sources will become motivation for you to become more humble, okay, and more acceptable in society. Okay. Surari garva charvanam prapanchanasha bhishanam. Prapanchanasha bhishanam. Bhishanam means source of fear. Okay. So one who is frightening, terrifying. So that is what is Bhishanam. So that sight can be described as something which was Bhishana. See, you see some things which are really frightening to you. Okay. Message can be frightening. Okay. The sight can be frightening. Okay. Prapancha nasha bhishanam. Okay. Here he says Prapancha nasha bhishanam. This pachi vistare is the dhatu. Okay, something which is vistara. That is why the other day also I was saying panchasya, I was telling you, no, right? So pancha means vistrita. So in fact, prapancha comes from that only. Okay. So this universe is something which is really vast. Okay. So really vast is prapancha. Okay. Prapanchanasha Bhishanam. Now he says, one can take it as any activity, any undertaking which requires enormous amount of effort as a activity which is prapancha in nature. Okay. So prapancha. Okay. This entire creation is a prapancha, is a certain activity which is going on, a continuous activity which is happening continuously. So continuous creation, continuous destruction, which is already happening. So we undertake certain activities which also have a beginning, which also have an end. And so too, if we extend it to a very large time scale, so then this is same as the creation and destruction in universe. Okay, creation and annihilation. This happens for very, very tiny lived, okay, tiny objects which live for a very short while. So there is already, so he was telling the other day, Ganesh. So every day some millions of cells die and grow. Millions, sir? So see, millions of cells, see, so they get perished and millions get created. Right? So in one's own body itself. Okay, this is one sort of a prapancha in its own way. And in a much larger scale also we see the prapancha which is happening. So prapanchasya nashaha, see, prapancha nashaha. Okay. So prapancha nasha bhishanam. So we just take this prapancha as a very large undertaking which is happening. So tasya nashaha. So any undertaking that you do can have a variety of reasons why it may not succeed. Okay. So why it may not succeed? It can be due to lack of resources, it can be due to lack of coordination among various other people. So any large undertaking, so suppose you take the performance of dance. So the performer has to be good, light has to be good, this has to be good, that has to be good. So choreography has to be good, everything has to be good. Certain things can be sort of made up if something is missing. So if somebody, the singer messes up, I mean, she can make up with the footsteps if you are really good. Okay, so that can be managed. But certain things cannot be. If it is a matter of serious vighna, then that cannot be made up. So here one can understand this prapancha. So we have this Vinayaka as, so we were describing the other day as Vighna Karta, Vighna Harta, both. Okay. So Vighna Karta and Vighna Harta. So as a Vighna Karta, if he were to function, then there cannot be any source of Bhishana than him. You understand? So everything may be ready. Okay, suppose you think of your dance program. So suddenly the power fails. Okay, assume, and the generator also fails. So then what can you do? Nothing can be done, right? So that is how it is. See, so Bhishana in the sense of, see, prapanchasya nashane Bhishanaha. Okay, so that can happen through some vighna which is unsurmountable. Okay, so that is what is meant by prapanchanasha. So there can be various sources for this failure of a undertaking, big undertaking, but a serious vighna, if it comes, then there is nothing can be done about it. Okay, so he is the most terrifying. So in that sense he uses prapanchanasha bhishanam dhananjayadi bhushanam. I wanted to see, I forgot. Okay. So Dhananjaya is used to refer to Arjuna. Okay. We have, no? Bhagavad Gita. Where do we have? Maybe you can find out. So, Dhananjayadi Bhushanam. Dhananjayadi Bhushanam, right? So, Dhananjayadi Bhushanam. Okay. So, Dhananjayadi, if you just take, means all those valorous people like Dhananjaya, right? Adi. So, beginning with Dhananjaya. Bhushanam means an ornament. Okay. So, that which brings more charm is Bhushanam. You add something, so the value is really added. You call it Bhushanam. Okay. Siladila vandu, my mother used to say, see, I am reminded of this. அந்த கல்யாணத்துக்கு போனேன். ஸோ அங்கே போட்ட அந்த வேஷங்கள்லாம் பார்த்தா விகாரம் கூத்தாடுறது அப்படி சொல்லுவாள். யூ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்? ஸோ டூ மச் ஆஃப் திங்ஸ் பீங் ஆடட். ஸோ யூ கம்ப்ளீட்லி கெட் லாஸ்ட் வெதர் ஹி இஸ் த சேம் பர்சன் ஆர் அ டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பர்சன். ஓகே, ஸோ தட் இஸ் ஸோ பூஷணம் has become Vibhishanam. Bhishanam. Bhushanam turning Bhishanam. So, Vu-lendi E. So, Bhushanam is basically an ornament. Okay, an ornament which adds more charm and elegance to that. So, Dhananjayadi Bhushanam. So, when you say, see, so for these warriors, see, in fact, we can understand it both ways. From the viewpoint of Vighna Karta as well as Vighna Harta. I will tell you. How do we understand? So, Dhananjayadi Bhushanam. Okay. Bhushanam. In fact, there is a nice verse also. In fact, today morning my mother was asking, she had to give some lecture somewhere. She was saying, there is a nice verse which ends with Sheelam Param Bhushanam. So, Shudamba, why? Aishwaryasya Vibhushanam Sujanata Shauryasya Vaksanyamaha Jnanasyopashamaha. It goes like this. Okay. Aishwaryasya Vibhushanam Sujanata Shauryasya Vaksanyamaha. Shauryasya Vaksanyamaha. So, Shauryasya means this valor. It can be in terms of anything that you can achieve. Okay. So, for Arjuna, etc., it can be the war. So, for certain other people, it can be programming, it can be some other competition, anything. Okay. Vaksanyamaha is a Bhushanam. So, Pradapa anichikudadu. So, I will do this. So, it has to come out. See? So, Phalanumeyav prarambhaha samskarav praktanayiva. See? In Raghuvamsha, Phalanumeyav prarambhaha. See? A very beautiful usage. Prarambha means Pariksha one irukku Prarambha. Next is Prarambha. After Balabodha. After Balabodha, it is called Prarambha. Prarambha means beginning. In fact, Prarambha is used to refer to any activity. Karya. Prarambha means Karya. See, Arabhyate iti Arambha. See, Prakarshena Arabhyate iti Prarambha. Any activity can be called as Prarambha. Okay. So, this Kalidasa says, for those kings, Phalanumeyaha Prarambhaha. Anumeya means that which is to be inferred. See, Phalanumeya means you don't keep on drumming before you commence the activity. So, from the outcome of the activity, see, so you have to infer what activity was commenced. See? phalanumeyaha prarambhaha. There he gives a beautiful example, samskaraha praktana iva. Of course, Kalidasa, so well known for Upama. See, samskaraha praktana iva. Suppose somebody, there is a girl, no? Some girl who sings so well. Surya Gayatri. So, very, very young. See, so samskaraha praktana iva. See, so we just say that there is some Purva Janma samskara. Some people, at the age of 4 or 5, they will be doing Vedic chanting so well. Okay. So, the moment you just start teaching, so they pick up. See, Ekasanta Grahi. So, all these things, so we attribute to samskara. So, samskara is Purva Janma samskara. Samskaraha praktanaha. Praktana means something which is there from the previous janma, continuing from previous janma. Samskara phalanumeyaha prarambhaha. Samskaraha praktana iva. See. So just there are some amazing people, okay, even now. So very young, you just teach once or twice, the entire Kaumudi will come for him. Okay, he will be able to very quickly say. So these are all samskaras. So the samskaraha praktana iva. So the reason for saying is Dhananjayadi bhushanam. So there Shauryasya vak sanyamaha. Shauryasya, so the valor that they have, vak sanyamaha means, so he should not really keep blabbering about his talents. So this should be seen from the act that he does. So Dhananjayadi bhushanam. So there, so this Vinayaka helps. Okay. So both not in blabbering and not getting interrupted also. So you may have something, but there should be no vighna in the exhibition of the talent. So suppose Arjuna tries to remove, okay, from the quiver, then adipir. Okay, so the bana gets stuck several times. You can't pull out. What will you do? See, nothing can be done, right? So then it's a vighna harta. So as a vighna harta, so this becomes real ornament for them to show their talents. See, so the Dhananjaya is just an example. So it can be any art. So music suddenly it goes off. So Dhananjayadi bhushanam. Okay. Kapola dana varanam. So Kapola dana varanam. Varanam nane. Varana, one meaning is elephant. So other meaning is preventing. Varayatiti varanaha. Your meaning is. Let us take elephant now. This Kapola dana varanam. So how would you understand? So Kapola dana, Godanam, Bhudanam, right? Godana means? Correct. Godana is?
Cow present.
Presenting a cow. Okay. Gifting, offering. Okay. Danam. Danathuku enna solradhu correct English? Giving dhanla. Charity. Charity. Adu kuda kedaidu. In fact, let me tell you, Dana has a very beautiful definition in Sanskrit. Okay. சொல்லு சொன்னப்ப திருப்பி சொல்லணும் கரெக்டா. ஸ்வஸ்வத்வ நிவர்த்தி பூர்வக. வெரி குட். ஸ்வஸ்வத்வ நிவர்த்தி பூர்வக Parasvatva Apadanam. See, Swasvatva Nivritti Purvaka Parasvatva Apadanam. Parasvatva Apadanam. A very beautiful definition. Okay. Svatvam is possessiveness. Okay. Svatvam. So, this, a sense of possession is Svatvam. Okay. So, this act of Danam is described as Swasvatva Nivritti Purvaka Parasvatva Apadanam. So, the moment you say Idanna Mama, so gift it and then say you add Idanna Mama. Idanna Mama is a phrase. அப்பா தட்சிணெலாம் கொடுக்கும்போது வாத்தியார் சொல்லியிருப்பார் இதன்ன மாமா கொடுத்துட்டு. So this no more belongs to me. Okay. So here Swatsvatva Nivritti, the Svatvam, so the sense of possession in that object is lost the moment you do Danam. But this gives the sense of possession to the other fellow. So this Parasvatva Apadanam. Okay. Inga tolanju pochu vechiko. It is not Danam. So because it is so Parasvatva Apadanam you don't do. Somebody takes it. You understand? So if something is getting lost, first half may be true. So the second half will not be there. Okay, therefore they add both for Danam. You understand? So at least you can say Krishnarpanamastu. So the Swasvatva Nivritti Purvaka Parasvatva Apadanam. Okay, this is what is described as Danam. Okay, Parasvatva Apadanam, by this very act itself, so you create Svatva in the other person. Okay, so this is Danam. In fact, so this is beautifully clubbed with there is another definition of what is Svatvam. We should know this. These are all very beautiful things which have been coined by our thinkers. Svatvam. Very simple definition of Svatvam. Okay. But it is a very profound definition. Okay. If you think a little deeply, what do we really mean by Svatvam? Is a question that has been posed by logicians. So whenever I say this is Swam, 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 what is it? Okay. So it didn't anyway come with you, it is not going to go with you. Kasyasvidhanam, correct. That is correct. So Kasyasvidhanam. Okay. Where does it come? Ved mein kaha?
I listen from
So Ishavasya. Tell me. Magridha Kasyasvidhanam. Okay. Ishavasya midam sarvam yatkincha jagatyan jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha magridha kasyasvidhanam. Anyway, that is a very deeper discussion. So, kasyasvidhanam magridha. That has a double connotation. The meaning which can be connected with this also can be generated out of it. Svatvam. Svatvam, the definition is very simple. Yatheshta vinyogarhatvam svatvam. Good stop. That is all. Okay. So, nothing more should be added to that. Yatheshta vinyogarhatvam means There is a certain norm in the society which has been created by which you have the right to distribute as you like. That is all Swattva means. Nothing more. Okay. So when you say Idam Swam, means you have the right over that to distribute as you like. Okay. So this is a certain norm that has been created. Yatheshta viniyogarhatvam svatvam. Okay. So this is the definition. So if you limit to that, then there may not be too much of a problem. Okay. So anyway, so this is Swattvam. So Swattvatva nivritti purvaka parasvatva apadanam danam. Okay. Kapola dana varanam. So here that dana is not that dana which we are discussing now. Okay. So Kapola dana varanam. Okay. So one can associate this also. So let me just see if I can bring that. So let us take first meaning. Okay. So this dana, before it skips my mind, so let me describe that, then come to the other meaning. So it just came to me. Okay. Kapola dana varanam. Okay. This kapolam, if we take as something which has to do with the jaw, mouth. Okay, this is what is kapola. Okay, kapola, kapolam. Okay. So kapola dana varanam. So kapola dana varanam. So varanam, if you just take as something which prevents. Okay. So this Kapola dana varanam is, so he will help us. So in not being a chatterbox. Okay. You understand? Okay. The one who prevents us, helps us. Okay. So you don't need to keep on giving your mouth all the time. Okay. So from Kapola dana, so he will prevent us. Okay. So this is in the regular sense of dana which we described now. So this is one. This is very, very important. Okay. So இதனால்தான் தமிழ் ஒன்று நுணலும் தன் வாயால் கெடுமா இல்லை நுணல்னா என்ன எது தவளை தன் வாயால் நான் அப்படி கேட்கல நுணலும்னு ஒன்று இருக்கு ஓ நுணல் இஸ் தவளை இது ஓ ஐசி so the frog will he will do okay so that attracts the attention of the prey attracts the attention of predator okay அது வச்சு நுணலும் தன் வாயால் கெடும் இந்த மாதிரி. So this happens to many human beings also. Okay. So that is why, so Varana means, so he will help us. It is because of this, you land into all kinds of troubles. So Varanam means the one who prevents. So this dana nobody asked you. So you give. So dana is always given by you. Okay. So the Kapola dana Varanam. So he helps us in maintaining some restraint. So that is grace of. So from the physical form of Ganapati also, you can understand the meaning of this phrase. This dana,
Dhanam Jayadi Bhushan, Dhanam Jayadi Naka, you can say somebody who has as ornament, the Dhanam and Jayam Naka, the tree, yeah.
Yeah, that's what. See, I don't want to derive this word. How this Dhananjaya refers to Arjuna. In fact, I wanted to check if there is something which has been given by scholars. I forgot. But offhand, all that I can tell you is there are two words in this. So, Dhanam and Jaya. Okay. So, Dhanam and Jaya. Dhanam is some wealth. So, the one who has acquired that wealth by some activity is Jaya, is victory basically. Okay. It can be even achieving some knowledge, so some exceptional talent in an art, then also you can think of I have conquered that. Okay. It is in that sense. So, perhaps it is used as an epithet to describe Arjuna in the sense of this Dhananjaya. So, the moment he goes and then fights a war, he will always win, and therefore Dhananjaya. Okay. So victory over the wealth. Victory over the wealth that is possessed by the other person. So, by a certain activity. Okay. So, that could be the meaning of this epithet, Dhananjaya. That is why I generalized it and then said, so any talent, okay, so that if you want to really exhibit and achieve for yourself, so he is an ornament. So, ornament by eradicating the kind of difficulties that is there in winning over that. Okay. So, that is how I describe that phrase in a much general sense. Now, when we come to this, the next phrase, Kapola Dana Varanam. Okay. This word Dana also has the meaning of the rut which flows out. So, elephants, they have a flow of rut. Okay, Madajalam they call it. Okay. So, Kapoladana Varanam. See, so here it should not be taken as like Godana, Bhudana. No. So, Kapoladana Varanam. See. So, an elephant, so this is a particular state of elephant in which this happens. Okay. So, it is full of rut. Okay. So, here, so this Vinayaka, so since he is a elephant faced, so Kapoladana Varanam means the person in whose Kapola, okay, the elephant in whose Kapola the Dana is continuously flowing. Okay. So, one who possesses a Kapola in which the elephant which possesses a Kapola in which Dana is flowing down. Okay. Kapola Dana Varanam. Here Varana should be taken as elephant. Okay. Bhaje Purana Varanam. Okay. So, there is a lot of alliteration. Varanam, Varanam again. Bhaje Purana Varanam. Okay. Purana Varanam means one who is so well known. Okay. Puranam means something which is very old. See? There are further details which one can talk about Purana, but that is enough for now. Okay. Bhaje Purana Varanam. Okay. So, the well known elephant, so I offer my venerations. Okay. Bhaje Purana Varanam. Padingo. Akinchanartimarjanam Chirantanokti-bhajanam Purari-purvanandanam Surari-garvacharvanam Prapancha-nasha-bhishanam Dhananjayadi-bhushanam Kapoladana-varanam Bhaje Purana Varanam. We'll stop here. Om Sarve Psikhinas Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Oh.